10th on this list is the Outlander Sport. This is a new generation model for 2022, which should make it one that you want to drive, but that's not the case according to AutoBiz. This Mitsubishi offers attractive styling, but the lack of power and repair costs put this vehicle out of the running when compared to the rest of the subcompact crossover class. Avoid the Mini Countryman unless you have the retro look. Maybe Mini shouldn't have ever dipped its toe in the crossover market, just a thought, but it did. The Countryman falls short with a low-powered 3-cylinder engine. The style is recognizable, and you'll find a large infotainment screen inside, but you won't find standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This is one of those vehicles that are all show and no go. Having the Ford Explorer on this list might be a surprise, but don't be surprised. This 3-row midsize SUV has 3 powertrain options available, all-wheel drive, and plenty of interior space. Unfortunately, according to AutoBiz, the cabin material appears to come out of the bargain bin, and the fuel economy is lacking for this class.
Please allow me to interrupt this video. If you're looking for a 3-row, 7 to 8 passenger family SUV that has great value, great technology, great safety, and is one of the best-selling SUVs in America right now, check out my review of the 2022 Kia Telluride. You won't be disappointed. There's a link below this video.
Is anyone shocked to see the Jeep Renegade on this list? Although the latest version brings you several packages and trim levels, it is still on the oddly shaped Jeep SUV that you love to hate. This Jeep will drive you crazy with the amount of wind noise you hear on the road and the lack of fuel economy, which is something you want in a subcompact crossover. The final year for the Chevy Trax is not the time to buy. There might be some sweet deals out there for one, and you might enjoy driving it, but it is among the worst SUVs in the market. You can fit 5 people and some cargo in this SUV, but it lacks safety features found in many of its competitors. This SUV will lose value in the upcoming years because 2022 is its final year of production. Is the GMC Acadia an SUV you should avoid? The 2022 version is a midsize crossover SUV that offers upscale interior design and technology you desire and a powerful V6 engine. Sounds great, right? A great little formula, but there's a glaring issue with this sports utility vehicle. The Acadia has a small cargo area behind a cramped 3rd row. This means you got to make decisions to carry more than 5 people in the Acadia. The Ford EcoSport is a newly outdated SUV. That's an oxymoron, isn't it? Ford didn't bring the EcoSport to the market too long ago, but it's already an outdated model. It's hard to believe. Arriving in the 4th spot among SUVs you want to avoid, this one is also rated the worst in its class by Car and Driver. They've got a good reputation. You'll find an outdated infotainment system, lack of safety features, and poor fuel economy when you see the EcoSport.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I'm inside the 2022 Chevy Tahoe, just taking advantage of the Wi-Fi hotspot working on my computer here. There's a plug-in, so I stay charged up. Hey, if you're looking for a full-size SUV with seating up to 9, yes, 9, I have the 7-seat configuration here. Check out my review along with my pros and cons of this vehicle. Got lots of cargo, 3 engine options, rear wheel and 4-wheel drive, and all the safety and technology you're looking for in a new SUV. You can find a link to this video in the description below this one.
Okay, why did the Fiat 500X ever exist? Another brand similar to Mini that should have stayed out of the SUV game is the Fiat 500X. It lags behind nearly every vehicle in the segment in terms of cargo and passenger space. It doesn't help that the 500X comes at a high starting price when compared to other models. You truly have got to love this crossover to make it one that you want to drive. The Dodge Journey solidifies its place on this list. While this is not a list any automaker wants to see their vehicle on, the Dodge Journey has been here for years. It touts seating for 7, but it's too small for 7 real adults. It has enough power to get you from 0 to 60 in 3 to 5 or 6 business days. Sarcasm. And the fuel economy is below average. If you see this SUV, just keep walking. It's not worth your time, according to AutoBiz. The Land Rover Range Rover tops the list. Why should you avoid it? This SUV has high maintenance costs and low resale value, putting it in the top position of SUVs to avoid. Otherwise, if you're looking for a Land Rover to drive, the Range Rover offers powerful engines, excellent off-road capability, and an impressive interior area. See, there are some positives. You'll simply have to keep it until it dies. So here's a topic that's a real thing. Does the automatic start-stop feature we all talk about and rave about actually save you money on gas? Or is it just a marketing ploy by manufacturers, an unnecessary feature? Does it really work? Over the years, you and myself, lots of drivers have questioned whether this function is slowly ruining our cars, and if the brief shutting down of our car's engine while idling actually saves us on gas. You know, you get to the stoplight, stop sign, you're stuck in traffic, and all of a sudden your car goes dead, or at least it feels like it goes dead. Is it making a difference? According to Road and Track, you've probably heard of them, this feature can actually save money on gas, according to Road and Track. Unfortunately, tracking exactly how much fuel this feature saves is hard because of how many variables go into calculating miles per gallon. We don't live in a vacuum. We're not on a isolated road just going at a set miles per gallon or miles per hour. Now, according to Road and Track, the constant stopping and starting can get pretty grating depending on which system you have and its calibration. Given the annoyance and fear of damage, a lot of drivers aren't fond of this feature, myself included. I just turn it off. I have it on a couple of my vehicles, and I have it all the time with my press vehicles. But would that change if the amount of fuel saved was enough to help with the skyrocketing gas prices, if you knew it worked? Despite what my Uncle Rick says he knows about cars, this isn't a matter of opinion. My friend and fellow YouTuber Jason Fensky at Engineering Explained points out that figuring out if the automatic start-stop system saves on gas is a question that needs to be answered by science and math, not Uncle Rick's opinion. One of his videos starts with, quote, "How much time does it take an idling engine to use the same amount of fuel as starting the engine?" End quote. Great question. If we have that answer, figuring out the efficiency of the automatic start-stop feature becomes simple to figure out. In his video, he shows two instruments with green liquid. One of these cylinders represents the amount of fuel an average-sized small four-cylinder engine burns after idling for 3.6 minutes. Very precise. The second of the two cylinders represents the amount of fuel it takes to start the same engine. The two cylinders are dramatically different. They show that 3.6 minutes of idling uses far more fuel than starting your engine does. So the question is, should you get a car with an automatic start-stop feature? In some cases, it may already have it, so you can't really deal with it. A little history lesson. In 2004, a study published in the Journal of SAE sought out to find out if these start-stop features actually saved us fuel. Again, that was a long time ago. Jason from Engineering Explained says that the study looked at two identical 1.5-liter four-cylinder Toyota engines. The researchers hooked up fuel flow meters to these engines to measure fuel consumption accurately. They idled both engines in park and in drive for an hour and a half. After those measurements were completed, they did some math, and they found that if your car idles for more than 7 seconds, it would be more fuel efficient to shut your engine off and restart it when it's time to drive again. It really is fascinating to see how many drivers are wary of this system and its efficacy without ever looking at the scientific data that shows these systems work. Granted, these savings are fairly negligible in the short term, but in the long run, these systems can save money on gas and theoretically money, despite what your Uncle Rick says.
One final note, if you are in the market for a new vehicle soon, great. Connect with your local dealership and price and test drive at least 3 different vehicles. A vehicle's strengths and weaknesses can only be discovered when you are behind the wheel. My reviews can be good, but you need to test drive these yourself. Visit quotes.everymandriver.com, select the make, model, and your zip code, and you'll get invoice pricing in your area on those vehicles. Shop smarter with price quotes at quotes.everymandriver.com.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.